Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that I think is genuinely one of the most important shifts happening in AI right now. We keep hearing about the phrase AI agents everywhere. Every company is launching one, every research lab is talking about them. But most explanations either stay to surface level or go too technical too quickly. So today I want to actually break down what makes agents fundamentally different from the AI tools most of us are already using and why that difference matters more than people realize. So let's start with the AI you already know. When you use something like ChatGPT or Claude in a basic way, the interaction is essentially reactive. So you type something, it responds. You upload a document, it analyzes it. You ask a question and it will answer. There is a clear boundary. You act and it will react. And crucially, between every single step, a human is making decisions. That human in the loop structure is actually doing a lot of invisible work. It's keeping things grounded. It's providing a natural checkpoint before anything consequential happens in the real world. AI agents break that structure. An agent is not just responding to you, it's pursuing a goal. You give it an objective and it figures out the steps, executes them, uses tools, makes decisions along the way and comes back to you when it's done or when it hits something it can't handle alone. Here's a concrete example to make this tangible. Imagine you want to plan a research trip. With a standard AI tool, you would have a back and forth conversation. You would ask about flights, read the answer, then ask about hotels, read that, then ask about the conference schedule, and you would be synthesizing all of it yourself, making every decision manually. An agent handles the whole thing. You say, I need to attend this conference in Tokyo in March, keep it under 2,000 pounds, and I prefer direct flights. The agent goes off, checks flight, cross-references hotel availability near the venue, looks at your calendar to confirm the dates work, drafts an itinerary, maybe even initiates the booking and comes back to you with a plan. You were not in the loop for each individual step. You set the goal and agent navigated to it. That's generally a different relationship with AI. Now, here's what makes agents technically distinct, because I think it's worth being precise about this. Agents are what researchers call a high degree of agency. It sounds circular, but it means a few specific things. They can perceive their environment, whether that's the web, your files, an API, or a database. They can take actions in that environment, writing, clicking, sending, executing code. They can plan across multiple steps rather than just responding to one prompt. And they can do all of this with minimal intervention between steps. The earliest version of this in AI, if you remember, were reinforcement learning systems. Think of AlphaGo or robots being trained to navigate physical spaces. They were not following a script, they were learning to act in an environment to achieve outcomes. Large language models with tool access are the newest expression of this same underlying vision. And they are much more general purpose. So building AI agents has actually been the central goal of AI research since the field began in the 1950s. The reason it feels new is because we are now getting systems that are capable enough for it to be practical at scale outside of narrow domain. And that's precisely what makes this moment interesting and worth paying careful attention to. Because when AI stops being something you use and becomes something that acts on your behalf, that makes decisions, takes steps, creates output, and affects the world, the nature of the technology changes. The question you need to ask about it change. The risks change. The governance challenges change. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. The shift from reactive AI tools to autonomous AI agents is not just a feature upgrade. It's a change in the fundamental dynamic between humans and AI systems. The human in the loop assumption, the one that's been quietly keeping things manageable, starts to erode. And as agents become more capable and more widely deployed, understanding that shift becomes increasingly important, not just for researchers, but for policymakers, but for anyone going to be working alongside these systems. In the next video, I'm going to get into the specific risk that this autonomy creates, not the sci-fi level stuff, but the practical near-term challenges that are already starting to emerge. Because I think understanding the risk clearly is actually what lets you think sensibly about the technology rather than just reacting to hype in either direction. If you found this useful, please subscribe so you don't miss that one, and drop a comment. I'm curious whether you have actually used any agentic tools already and what your experience was. See you in the next video.